Hey guys, this is another guitar tutorial for Radiohead. This time I'm going to be doing present tense, and this song is either a half step up, um, or just have the capo on the first fret. Because if you try and tune your guitar a half step up, the strings could snap because it's quite high. So it's probably safer to use a capo. So okay, so this has quite a few different sections as well, but I'll go through them quite quickly for you. And it's got quite a distinctive picking pattern, and all the chords are picked in this song. So I'll try and cut that up for you so you can understand that better as well. Okay, so as the capo is on the first fret, I'm going to be referring to the chords in relation to the capo being there. So this is the first fret, this is the second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, sixth fret, seventh fret, eighth fret, ninth fret, 10th fret, 11th fret, 12th fret. Okay, so all of the frets are just moved up by one. So okay, so this is what the first chord is, and we're going to start with the introduction, and it's played twice I think, but at the beginning. But the first chord is your index finger on the A string of the 10th fret, your ring finger on the D string of the 12th fret, and your middle finger is on the B string of the 11th fret. And the picking pattern is something like this. And all that is you're keeping your fingers where they are, and you're plucking the A string, then the B, then the D, and then the A, and then the B. So that's the first little half of the picking pattern. So it's all it is. So A, B, D, A, B. Okay, so all it is, and the next section of that picking pattern is A, D, B, D, A. So having that together is okay. That's all it is, and the other chords are pretty much picked in the exact same way. I'll point out to the ones that aren't, but just assume they are for now. Okay, so the next chord is a chord shape that's going to be used quite a bit in introduction, so try and get used to it. So it's try and put your thumb onto the, need to remember what things are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, sorry. So on the 8th fret, have your thumb or any other finger that's more comfortable on the low E string, your ring finger on the 10th fret of the A string, and your index finger on the 8th fret of the G string. And you're doing exactly the same pattern, but you're just doing it on different strings. So this time, instead of plucking the B string, you'll be plucking the G string, and instead of the A string, you're doing the low E. So instead of the D, you're doing the A. So everything's just moved up one string. So it sounds like this. And the next chord is middle finger on the 9th fret of the A string, ring finger on the 10th fret of the B string, and index finger on the 7th fret of the G string. And you're plucking the same strings as you did before in the first chord. So actually, instead of plucking the D, you're plucking the G here. So then you're doing the same chord shape as the second chord, but you're just moving down one fret. Then Then you slide down again, but instead of having your index finger on the 6th fret, I believe, yeah, 6th fret, you put your middle finger on the 7th fret. So it's, and after you finish that chord, you slide down to the 4th fret on the low E, and then you play the next chord, which is 0, 6, 8, nothing, 8, and that is like, so that little transition is here. Okay, and then you go up to the 4th fret on the low E, the 6th fret on the A, and your middle finger should be on the 5th fret of the G string. So it's, then you go to 8th fret on the A string, ring finger on the D string of the 10th fret, and your middle finger on the 9th fret of the B string. So, and then you revisit this chord on the 6th and 8th fret with your middle finger on the G string. Okay, so after you've done that, you repeat it one more time, and then you finish, and then you move on to the next section. So the next section is the verse, and you're going to be having your index finger on the 10th fret of the A string and your ring finger on the 11th fret of the B string, and you're just doing the same picking pattern, but instead of plucking the D string like before, you'll be plucking the G string here. So it's, although I think you can still pick the D, sometimes it doesn't make too much difference. Just test it out to see which is easier for you or whatever sounds better for you. So only the thing is, the D string is sometimes muted because your index finger's over it, so probably best to stick to the G string. So you do that, then you go to the next chord, which is from the low E. It's 8, nothing, nothing, 8, 8, and nothing. So, and you're plucking the low E, the B and the G, like before. So this time you're only doing half of the picking pattern, so it's, remember that little half bit, so it's, and instead of doing the second part, you have to, so you have to lift your ring finger off the G string of the 8th fret and put your index finger on the 7th fret of the G string, and you pluck the G string and then the B string. So so 7 on the G string, and then pluck the B string, and then you pluck the G string again, but lift your finger off. So, and then pluck the B string again. So it's, okay. You can do it another way. So it's, try and lift it off as in time while you play the same picking pattern as before. So yeah, so that's what you have to do. Then you move into the next chord, which is 0, 6, 0, 0, 8, and you just pluck the same strings again. Oops. And slide to the same strings, but do 5 and 6. Slide back. Slide to 5 and 6 again. And do the 10, 11 again. 8, 5, 6, 5, 6 again, 6, 8. But then you, this third time you do it, you put your ring finger on the 8th fret of the A string. So you have, then you do this whole cycle again. But on this time, you, instead of going back to the 5, 6, you do 3, 6. So it's the same strings again, but it's just 3, 6. And then you go back to 6, 8. 5, 6 again, I think. One more time. Sorry, I messed that up. Eight again. So that's the verse. Then you go into the next section, which is 3, nothing, nothing, 3. So you're using the same strum picking pattern, sorry, as before, with the lower chords. So up here when you're using it on the low E string and stuff. So it's, so you do an entire loop of the picking pattern. Try and get this in the camera, picking as well. So, but then you do, so you've done one loop of the picking pattern, but then you do half of the picking pattern. So, and then to do the second half, you slide to with the same strings again. So it'll be the low E and the G string. You're, sorry, get it in the camera. You're sliding to 1 on the G string, 1 on the low E, and 2 on the G string. So you, and use the same picking pattern the second half of it. So you should have. Oh my God, sorry. And then you slide up to this chord, which we've seen before. So it's just 6th fret on the low E, 8 on the A, and 7 on the G. So then you do the just chord underneath it, which we saw in the verse. So it's 6 on the A string, 8 on the B string. Then you slide to same strings but 3 and 5. Then you do that little cycle again. And then you repeat the introduction again, and then you go back to this little bridge section, we're going to call it, and then you finish on the little verse progression. So whoops. You might see that I'm missing out some little strings when I'm picking, but you can sort of just vary it. It doesn't matter too much. It's just how you want it to sound. So sometimes I like to mix it up when you're playing because it can get quite repetitive. So yeah, so that's the entire song. It's quite difficult to learn at first, but with practice it'll be fine. You'll definitely get it. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.